No, you're so
And
stupid.
they hit the thing, you know what I
You're
mean?
dumb. What's up, Bob?
Nothing.
I think we should tell the people why we call you Bob in the first place.
How much time do we have?
We have plenty of time. I'm
Okay.
gonna tell you why we started calling him Bob was
Okay.
because we had a friend named Cornelius we
Yep.
used to play basketball with at Dottie Lynn, and we were picking teams, and he was like, I got J Bob.
Yep.
And we were all like, who? He's like, J Bob.
I think there was probably a good 15 of us there.
Yeah.
And we were looking around like,
He was wild.
Does anyone know who J Bob is?
Yeah, and so then it just kind of developed into Bob.
Yep, it
We
just-
just dropped the J.
You know, generations, they get lazier and lazier.
Janelle hates when we call you J Bob.
She hates it. She never has once called me Bob. And
I think it's weird. I don't think it's weird when people call you Jordan, but I think it's weird when they don't ever call you Bob. So it's like confusing.
well, I mean, I
She
don't know.
hates it. She
Hates
thinks
it
it's
with
dumb.
a passion. She hates it.
That's so crazy.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like, have you ever seen Grease?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, you know how like Danny Zuko has like two personas?
Yeah.
You know, Bob was
Oh,
a little
yeah.
Bob was a little wild.
It was their wild
You
times.
know, Bob was a little wild.
You're engaged now, which
I
is
am
fire.
engaged. I am
Jordan got engaged.
I did.
That's fire.
I did.
It's exciting.
I did. I actually December
It's his
12th.
fourth time.
Well, the three other
You don't
times.
have to hold it like that.
I don't know how to hold it. Is it like a gun or like
I don't know. I just feel like you just are awkwardly
I didn't
holding
know.
it.
I didn't.
As long as the mic points at your mouth. I don't know. I just thought it looked weird.
Okay.
I don't know. I just thought you looked awkward.
Well, I mean,
But it's got to point at your mouth. That's it.
is that better?
I don't know. I just thought you'd casually hold it.
Two hands.
I don't know. But anyway, so yeah.
Sorry.
Do you feel different? You have my volunteer pass on
I
the
am.
Highland Park.
Which camp?
At anyone. Get out of here.
This one.
Get out of here. So are you excited to be engaged?
I'm very excited. Actually.
Is there a wedding date?
No, we're actually not gonna have a wedding.
But is there like a marriage date?
I think we're planning towards the summer
Why?
because it's easier to travel during the summer. I told you what we're doing.
Your plan is to like just hit the road. Don't
just
do a
gonna-
wedding.
No wedding. We're gonna save the money that we would spend on a wedding, and then we're just gonna travel and go see our friends.
That's fun.
Yeah,
That's fire.
easy.
It's exciting.
Yes.
Yeah. Did you think you'd be engaged?
Never.
Ever?
I'm gonna go. Never.
Why?
I don't know.
Couldn't tame you, big dog?
Bro, I mean, you know how it is.
They couldn't lock you down.
No, I really did. I honestly, I just never did.
Yeah.
I just never did. I mean, and to be completely honest, I've had a bunch of people reach out to me like, I never thought you were gonna get married.
Really? I think you were
Yes.
about to say when people like wanting to marry you.
Well, that too.
They've been blowing up the DMs.
I mean,
That's fire. I kind of feel like that's the path I'm on. It's fine though. We're good. Don't worry about that.
Hey.
So tell me, how's the new gig? So if y'all don't know, Bob's been in sales for a long time
Yes.
now. So you've been selling.
Yes.
And
Yes.
you've been doing all kinds of different
I
stuff.
love selling.
What was your first sales job? Because you were at the logistics place
Yes.
with the 18-wheelers.
So if you want to like really kick it old school, my first sales job, I was 18 years old and I
Okay.
sold home security for ADT.
Really?
Yes. At
That's-
18 years old.
That's kind of fire.
It was actually really fun. My boss hated me. I mean, I don't know why.
Why?
Well, if you want to be completely honest, I think it was because I was 18 years old and like I started killing it, and he was like older, you know, and he's like this 18-year-old kid. Yeah, he hated me.
Yeah.
Yeah, he hated me. He made me cut off all my hair. See how that worked
That's
out.
a liar. He just lost his hair. But anyways, so then what was the next? So then you had like some normal jobs.
Yeah, I had some odds and ends. Yeah,
But what was the first like real sales job after that?
Camping World.
Camping World?
Yes.
With the RVs?
Yes.
And how'd you like that? Because I remember you started off and you were killing it selling.
Yeah.
So that was fun.
Well, I loved it. So Cody,
Yes.
since
We have this loser friend named Cody. Anyways,
he's
go
gonna
ahead.
love that.
Yeah, he's going to love it. He's terrible at
Cody
Apex.
had been begging me to work with him forever,
Yeah.
and I wouldn't do it. Right? And
Because he
then-
sold cars. Well, he worked in
Yes,
cars.
car dealership. At the time, though, when he called me, he was working at Camping World in Florida. Well, I was.
Oh, he was at Camping World?
when I got into Camping World, yes.
Okay.
Yes. So he was a finance manager at a Camping World in Florida,
Okay.
and I was thinking about getting into real estate.
Okay.
And he was like, this is what I want you to do. I want you to at least get into sales so you can get some sales background, kind of learn what you're doing. And then if you want to make the jump, then make the jump.
Okay.
So I got into Camping World and I just kind of like took off.
And it was Alvarado the first spot?
No, Fort Worth.
Oh yeah,
Fort Worth was
I
the first
remember
spot.
that. And how'd that go? So when you start like at Camping World, I'm
Sure.
selling RVs. How does that start?
So I mean,
You're just like, all right, go sell an RV.
in a way, yes. So they give you like the basics, right? Like this is how you should greet a customer,
Right.
You know, if someone comes in, you ask them some questions, and you know this is how you should get information. This is how they call it the path to the sale, right?
Yeah.
Because people come in and they're looking for help.
Yeah.
And so it's your guide what's your guide? It's your job to guide them down the path.
Down the sale, yeah.
Right.
And you told me once that most people that come looking for RVs, they're trying to buy an RV.
Right.
People don't really window shop an
you
RV.
don't magically go into Camping World
and
just
Fort
being
Worth,
like, how
Alvarado.
did I get here?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No, you especially the Alvarado location.
Yeah.
I mean, you've been there,
Yeah,
right?
it's huge.
You have to go out of your way.
It's the middle of nowhere.
to get there.
Yeah.
So when people will come in, they're like, I'm just looking.
You're not just looking
No,
for it.
you went out of your way to come here. How can I help you?
So you were, especially by the time you got to Alvarado, you were killing it. You were selling a ton of RVs.
I was.
Doing a really good job. What would you feel like separated you from like an average salesman? Like what makes you so much better at sales in RVs?
In
Like-
my opinion,
Yeah.
and this may sound corny,
Yeah.
I actually care.
Yeah.
Like, because
Like other people don't care?
Well, I think people care, right? But
Yeah.
there's two different types of caring. You can care about people, or you can care to listen.
That makes sense.
So, are you really listening?
Yeah.
Because when people come in and they don't understand, right?
You're right.
They just want an RV. They tell you, "Hey, I have this kind of price range. This is, down payment wise. This is where I'm going to be." Oh, I'm the professional. Let me educate you, because
Right.
sometimes there's scenarios where they think they have this box, but they're not going to fit in that box. They're going to fit in this box.
Like they feel like they might not get approved or like any of those things.
Or, okay, like I'll make it very simple, right?
Yeah.
Hey, I want to buy a $70,000 RV. I have $2 to put down. I want my monthly payment to be $500.
Not happening.
That's not going to happen.
Right.
But they don't know that.
Yeah.
It's your job to listen to that, educate them, and then, okay, well, can we be here instead of here?
Trying to make it realistic
Right.
for them.
And
And
you
I
have-
get that too, because I think it's like that in coaching too, where like a lot of coaches do private lessons and they cost all this money, but they don't really care. I don't say they don't care if the kid gets better, but they're not super invested
Right.
on seeing them through the journey to getting the skill.
Exactly.
They look at it as in like if you want to work hard, we'll work hard. If not, I don't really care.
Yeah.
But it's like same thing with sales. It's like you're really trying to get them in there.
Yeah.
And if they can't afford it or they can't afford that specific one,
Sure.
then you try to show them a different one.
Yeah, you want to help them.
Yeah.
I want an RV. I want this RV, but I want it to fit in this parameter.
Right.
Well, if it makes sense, then yeah, we'll get you there. But if it doesn't, what if I could help you with this?
Yeah, so if I come in and I'm like some crazy outrageous thing, like I want $70,000 RV, $500 payment, I got no money down.
Right.
And it's not going to happen. My credit's like a 500.
Exactly.
So how do you make that person still feel good about buying an RV?
Because I just educate them, right?
Right.
Hey, sir, ma'am, I've been doing this for quite some time. I understand what you're trying to accomplish. Realistically, this is where you're going to end up.
Right.
Will that work for you? Well, no, it won't work for me. This is where I need to be. Okay, well, then we need to look on this area.
Yeah. So basically a lesser vehicle.
If they have some crazy scenario like that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Absolutely.
But I feel like most people are probably not realistic, are they?
It depends.
Really. I've had some people ask for some, like really want some crazy stuff.
You have people that walk in, and especially RVs, right? They're recreational vehicles, so the requirements to get
It's like a motorcycle. It's hard.
it's hard.
Yeah,
It's
because you
hard.
don't need an RV. You need a car.
Right.
You don't need an RV.
You want an RV.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's difficult. Yeah.
So after you were crushing it, I remember you were killing it, and then you like transitioned out of sales to like
Yes.
sales manager.
So in all of Camping World, I don't know how many stores now because I haven't been there for, oh my gosh.
How long has it been since you've been at Camping World?
Well, I was there for about 3
You got
years.
fired for stealing snacks.
No, I didn't.
No, I'm just kidding. But what? So
I
you-
left in May
Yeah. What was the most you sold in 1 month?
23.
RVs?
Yes.
That's a lot of RVs.
And I took a week off. Actually,
Dang.
I didn't take a week off. I was sick. I had laryngitis, and then I got strep throat. So the store record was 26.
Oh,
I sold 23, and I missed 7 days.
that's crazy.
It was crazy. I
sold 40 1 month.
Dang.
Actually, in a week.
And
40
you-
in 1
and then-
week.
And then you woke up.
No, but that's wild.
Marcus called me. That's when Marcus Lamotis called me.
Oh yeah, he's the owner.
Yeah, he
And
owns
he's on
Camping World.
TV.
Yep.
He's on the profit. Yeah.
Yeah.
But okay, so then you were killing it. So they're like,
I was number 2 the entire company as far as sales.
That's wild.
Yes. And so Marcus Lemonis was like, here, I'm going to give you a cruise. And I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
So then...
you made us $1 million. Here's a $500 cruise.
Yeah, pretty much.
Good job.
So then I got the phone call and they wanted me to go into management.
Yeah.
So
sales manager first?
Yes, sales manager first. So you can go different paths, right?
Right.
The ladder that you're supposed to go is sales, finance manager, sales manager, general manager.
Yeah.
I don't know why they decided to skip the finance part to go into sales. I guess maybe because
you were
was
doing good in
in
sales. So like
sales.
training people to sell.
Right.
Yeah. And would you stay at that location?
No, I went to Denton.
Okay. Right.
Yes,
right.
I went to the
How
Denton
did you
location.
like the sales management part of it?
It was
Because it's different because you have to like develop people to try to sell.
it's in a way it's like coaching, right?
Yeah.
And so the difficult part for me was I loved what I did so much that when people didn't care, it tore me to
I feel
shreds.
that. I feel that on a personal
And
level.
sometimes it's not that they don't really care. It's like I think it may be a little bit different with coaching like an athlete versus someone that's their job.
Yeah.
And they feel like I have to be here.
Yes.
And so when you're trying to coach them and they're just like, I don't care what you're saying.
Well, I feel that from like we get a lot of younger coaches at our gym.
Okay.
And a lot of times, like I said, like how much I care about cheer, my teams, and being successful. And like some coaches are just like, I don't really care that much. Like I want to do my thing.
And
if we
kills
win,
you.
we win. If we don't, we don't. And I'm not really losing sleep over it. I don't want to watch videos of our routines. And that's probably what it's like when you have people that are like, if I'm selling RVs and I don't really care to sell RVs, you're trying to show me how to talk to customers, and I'm just like, I don't really care, man.
Well, and that's one thing that I can say is, I know we both have the kind of mindset of like when we do something, we want to be really good at it.
Yeah, all in.
I mean, when we were younger, how many fights did we get
Always
into about
playing
Madden,
basketball, slugfest,
everything.
Remember
It
the
didn't matter.
wiffle ball with the bat we used to play in the
didn't matter.
backyard?
We would make up games
Yeah,
and stay up all
just to
night
be
trying to
competitive.
beat each other.
Exactly.
And it's just one of those things where you would see people that they're just like, I don't care. Or I'm okay with just being
mediocre,
okay.
like Cody in Apex. Just he's mediocre, and he's okay. I think
He's good.
I think he's okay with being mediocre. Yes, he is. Cody's okay being bad at Apex. I'm just saying. We have a friend named Cody. He plays Apex. He's not very good. Someone put his picture up right here. And you know what I mean? And he's just mediocre.
He's gonna kill you.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm just saying. But anyways, but yeah, no, I get that.
That's what's difficult.
Okay, but so then after the sales management
Sure.
thing, you're like, that's not for me.
Yeah, so I was not having fun.
Yeah. Well, you got to enjoy it too,
You
right? If
have
you
to.
go and it's just a drag and it's no
Right.
fun, it's like, what am I doing? Now I'm
Right.
just working, right? I'm not
Yes.
passionate about this anymore.
Yes. I was not having fun and it was difficult and I didn't want to be in a situation where cuz I loved Camping World,
Yeah.
right? I didn't want to be in a situation where my mindset started to change.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, why don't I try finance manager? Because I haven't done it before and it looks fun.
Yeah.
So that's what I did. And they sent me to a different store.
Yeah. And that's cool though, because now you're learning like different
The
parts of the
entire
game.
process.
Because I personally feel like once you're in sales, you're in sales.
Right.
You can like take that and go from Camping World to pizzas. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like for a long time when I was younger, I used to Uber and I'd pick up people that were like in sales.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, "Oh, I'm in sales for Pizza Hut." Blah blah blah. I'm like, "Were you always at Pizza Hut?" He's like, "Oh no, I was at like Meineke before this, and I was selling tires, and I
Sales
was
is sales.
It's just sales, yeah, getting people to buy.
Especially, and there's different sales, right? But
Yeah.
you can sell a recreational vehicle. You can sell anything.
Right,
If you're good at selling, you don't have to sell. You sell yourself.
100%.
You know what I mean? You don't have to sell the product. You sell yourself.
Yeah, because they have to believe in you, and
Right.
if they trust you, they trust that the product's good.
Exactly.
Also.
Yeah.
So, how did you like finance?
I loved finance.
Yeah.
It's very difficult, but it's very fun too.
Yeah, it's hard because now you're dealing with banks and you're dealing
Yes. So I'm having to deal with banks and trying to get the loans bought, and sometimes you get customers who are just again, it's not a need, it's a want.
Yeah.
And they want this RV so bad, and they're talking about how they're gonna take their families on trips, and it's just in the bank's eyes, it's just not adding up.
Yeah.
You gotta
Well,
make
like you said, it's a recreational item.
Right.
Did you feel like obviously I've known you my whole life, but like you're good at sales because you like sales, you like people.
Right.
Did you feel like finance and that like disconnected you from that?
It did.
Yeah, where you felt like you weren't like interacting with customers
Yes.
anymore, really, and you weren't like really like getting to know, because when you're selling something,
get
you with
to
the
know people.
RV. I mean, you sold me an RV, right? So we
Right.
get to walk around and look at it and talk about what kind of
It's
trips are you going to
fun.
take, and I want to buy a bigger one, but you're like, it's
Yeah.
just going to be you and Adriana's. You don't need one this big,
Right.
like
Education.
So, yeah, exactly. So, do you feel like when you're in finance, like, let's say, I mean, I'm sure you were killing it, but let's say you're making $1 million doing just finance. It's like, no, this ain't for me though.
Right. And so
Yeah.
I enjoyed learning that new part of the process as far as being a finance
Right.
manager and talking to these banks. And you do get to talk to customers, but you're on the back end of everything. They've had their experience of looking at the RV. They've gotten down to this payment and everything like that. You get to talk to them and basically like sign a bunch of paperwork. You offer some protection packages.
Yeah.
And that's about it.
And the thrill of the hunt is gone too,
Yeah.
right? Where that's how I was. I remember when I first went to Mustang, I only coached one team.
Right.
And then I just managed everything else. And I was like, man, I miss coaching more teams because
Yeah.
I love coaching.
That makes
Right?
sense.
I still don't see a time in my life where I'm just like only managing, not coaching.
Right.
No teams, no private lessons. Like I'm just managing these situations. Like I have a hard time like wondering when that would be. You know what I mean? Because I love being involved and on the floor.
When they say that a lot of great professional athletes make horrible coaches because
Yeah.
they're so used to being involved
Yeah.
in the game that when they kind of step aside from it, it takes something away.
Yeah, it's like stops it. You know what I
Right.
mean? That's so interesting. So after finance,
Yep.
then you left there and you were like, you did some real estate for a little bit, right?
Yeah. So I don't want to talk bad about anything, but there was a situation and things happened, and
Yeah.
I felt like it would be best for me to part ways from Camping World.
Right. So then your journey was done at Camping World.
Yes, so I thought it would be best for me and my family that I left Camping World.
Because you were working a lot.
Oh, dude.
And I think that's kind of the reason, right? I remember you talking to me about that where you're like, look, I love it, but man, I got to put in some hours.
I was driving an hour and a half
Yeah, it's far.
to and from
Yeah, no.
and working 10 to 12 hours a day.
Yeah, no.
You do the math.
That's hard. No matter how much money you make.
Right.
That's just hard with a family. You've got 2 kids and
Yep.
you know what I mean? That's tough.
It was really hard. Mentally, physically, I mean, just everything, you know?
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
tough.
just everything. You're so tired and you're so worn out that on your days off, you want to go do something,
you
but your
can't.
body won't even let you get out
Well,
of
and
bed.
that's what I think is so important too, because another reason I love this pod and the reason that we're doing this because there's so many young people that watch this.
Sure.
You know what I mean? That are gonna take different avenues in life, right?
Yeah.
They're gonna go to school, they're gonna go to college, they want to look at different jobs, some want to be cheer coaches, some want to be in sales, some want
Yeah.
to play football, these other things, and understanding that like. I don't like the word work-life balance because you can kind of coexist in both.
Right.
But if you are working so much that you're so unhappy and you're missing out on key moments in
Everything.
life, that is it really worth it?
Right.
Like, what are you working for?
Right.
We can work 100 hours a week, make all this money, but if you have no time to spend it or enjoy it with your friends, what's the point?
No, I agree. I mean,
Yeah.
100%. There was, and not to get all like emotional
Yeah.
and everything, but
Soft.
birthdays.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, I miss birthdays, Christmases. Well, not Christmases, but like
I'm like,
you know what I
dang, you
mean?
worked on Christmas?
golly, you didn't even come on, Jesus.
No.
No, but I mean, dead serious. Like,
So many events, yeah.
baby showers.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, all kinds of things. I mean, Everly.
Yeah.
Everly's 2 now.
That's crazy.
Dude, I didn't see her. Dude, I would not. There were times where I didn't see her for like 3 or 4 months.
Dang. That's
know what I'm
his niece,
saying?
by the way, not
Yeah,
like
it's
his
my
daughter.
niece.
But I haven't seen my daughter in 3 weeks.
It's
No.
been weird, bro.
No,
Like-
but no, it is. I mean, I
And
think
it
that's
sucks.
crazy, dude. That's what makes it crazy. Okay, so then you decided to take a break from that.
Yes.
And you got your real estate license.
I did. So, real estate was always in the back of my mind. Because, there was something about it that I just thought would be really fun.
Well, it's still sales and it's still doing the same thing. Now you're
Right.
just helping people get their home forever.
Right.
Yeah, so
And
that's
so I studied, I got my real estate license, and I thought that it was going to be a certain way.
Yeah.
It was the complete opposite.
Really?
Complete opposite.
What do you feel like was the one thing about real estate that for you it just didn't work? Like what was it just
Oh, man.
was it the time putting into it? Was it like,
No.
is it slow? I mean, I'm assuming it's a lot slower than selling an RV because it's a house and,
Right.
but like, is it just,
I can't say what I really want to say.
Okay.
But I will say that it's just different as far as like, man, how can I say this properly? The way that you go about becoming a real estate agent and really getting it's just to me it's not on you. And what I mean by that is like you kind of have to let your business build, and eventually it's like people just figure out that you're a real estate agent. And yeah, you can make social media posts and get after clients and all that fun
It's hard
stuff.
to build the clientele.
It is.
Or like you said, like I know what you mean when you say it's not on you, where it's like you can't do anything today in this moment like selling an RV where you can like, talk them into it.
Right.
And, use good techniques to be like, man, you really should get this. We can figure it out for you.
Exactly.
Like, and everybody's a real estate agent.
Everybody. It's oversaturated.
It's super oversaturated.
And then not only that, like it's just the way that things are going right now. They are trying to make selling a home or buying a home for real estate agents very difficult.
Yeah.
Like it's just there's a lot of weird stuff. I just imagine like your dream car, right?
Yeah.
And you're like you dream about driving it and the way it feels when you drive it, and then someone you have an opportunity to buy it. And you go on a test drive and it's everything you thought it wasn't.
God.
And you're just like, this can't be happening.
Yeah, I mean,
You know what I mean?
it's got to be a grind too. I mean, I've worked with real estate agents, and it's like,
I didn't think I had no fun.
yeah,
No fun at all. Like, I'm sorry. If you're a real estate agent and you have so much fun,
Good for
I'm
you.
so happy for you because I wanted to be a real estate agent, okay? It's not that I'm bashing anybody out there that's doing it. I think y'all are amazing. It's just not for me.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I
It's
totally
just-
get that.
It's just not for me. I wanted it to be for me. I also wanted to have hair. You see how that turned out?
Didn't work out.
Didn't
That's
work out at all.
wild, though.
It just it mentally it was very hard for me.
Yeah.
I was in a weird place because again, it was like one of those things where like this
You
was
just
my
didn't know how to acquire customers, was it? Or?
no, it was just like I said, like it was like I found my dream car and I went to test drive it and I hated it.
You just didn't like the process.
I didn't like
anything.
any of it.
Yeah,
I
that
didn't like
makes
any
sense.
of it. And
Yeah.
it's like this was my dream car. How can this be happening?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But it is. It's like the process or probably dealing with the title
It
loans
just
and
was
doing all that
so
stuff.
different than what I expected. It was not fun for me.
Some people really like it.
Some people love it and they thrive in it. And I'm like, that's awesome. Just
But I
wasn't
think
for
that's
me.
one thing that you and me have always done really well is that we do good in the things that we enjoy doing.
Exactly.
So, right, the same thing, right? Where
Yeah.
it's like, if you don't like it, like, you're not going to kill it.
Exactly.
Like, I'm not going to kill it because I don't like this at all. Nothing about
I
it.
tell people all the time, I know what I'm good at and I know what I'm not good at.
Yes.
And when I'm not good at it, I'll tell you I'm not
Yeah.
good at it.
Well, I'm the same way. Like, I always tell people, like, I'm really good at being me.
Sure.
That's what I'm really good about.
Yeah.
I live in my gift.
Always
Of
Raul.
what I'm good at.
Always Raul.
It's the clown boy.
Yeah.
But no, I do. There's things I'm not good at. I just don't even do them.
Remember he used to punch me and tell me to go back to California?
Oh, I do remember that in sixth grade when I met him. And it was like a punch in the arm, by the way. It wasn't like in his face.
It was in the face.
No, it was in
Right,
sixth
right,
grade
yeah.
when I met him. I met him in sixth grade, actually. Okay, so the real estate agent thing,
Sure.
weren't feeling it.
No.
How do we end up at Tom? Okay, I'm going to say.
Don't.
I always say Tom and Drake Roofing.
not Tom
but I
and
want you to
Drake.
know that his name is Tom Drake, and no man should have two first names. So, but it's fine. He's a
gonna-
big dude.
he's gonna
Don't tell him
love that.
Yeah, but his name's Tom Drake, and
Yes.
it's Tom Drake Roofing.
Yes.
And I always say Tom and Drake Roofing.
Yep,
I
yep,
got
yep,
you saying
yep.
it in videos sometimes,
Dude.
Tom and Drake Roofing.
Tom and Drake.
But how'd you even end up there?
So, how'd
How'd you end up at Tom and Drake Roofing?
Okay. Did you just said it again?
Oh, I did. I don't even mean to say it. Tom Drake Roofing.
So, I obviously I needed.
Did you know somebody there?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Micah. Yeah, Micah. So I needed a job.
Yeah, that's important.
Yeah, believe it or not, people, you have to have a job.
Yeah, you got to work.
Yeah. So I needed a job, and I got a phone call from Funtown RV.
Yeah.
And-
oh, you went there for a minute.
Yeah. Loved it.
Really?
Loved it. That place is amazing.
Okay.
Yeah. Amazing people.
Shout out Funtown RV.
Shout out Funtown RV. If you need RV, go to Funtown.
I went to Camping World.
Well, I was at Camping
Yeah,
World
okay,
at
all
the
right.
time, but no, I loved it. But I'm not gonna get. Is religion cool on this?
I mean, maybe.
I'm not gonna get too religious.
Okay.
I believe in God. Sorry if that offends anybody.
It shouldn't.
And I just felt like God was telling me that this lifestyle, as far as like dealership,
hours. It's a lot,
It's
man.
a
It's a
certain kind of
grind.
lifestyle, and I just felt like it wasn't for me anymore.
Yeah.
And some things happened in my life where that wouldn't work for me or my family anymore.
Yeah.
And then I got another phone call from Micah. So Micah had actually reached out to me about a year before I contacted him again.
Yeah.
And he had been trying to get me to come there for about a year.
How long has he been there?
A year. He started working there, and then he wanted me to join him.
Yeah.
And, you know, I was just like, I'm roofing.
Yeah, it's different.
I mean, it's
That's
like,
different.
I didn't know what it was. You know what I mean? And I was like, eh. So it just so happened that, you know, like I said, some things happened in my life, and the dealership, it just couldn't work anymore. So I reached out to him, and he kind of was like, well, hey, what if I told you could kind of make your own hours? And I was like, that's not even possible. And he was like, no, it is. And I was like, okay. So I went and I met with him and Tom, and they kind of explained
what they do.
Because
really, it's just sales.
Believe it or not, it's not.
It's not. So you're not. Oh yeah, because you technically don't sell anything.
It's not sales, and that's actually what I love so much about it. Is because do I love selling? I do, but I don't sell anything. If we're being completely honest, I'm a professional advice giver. Right. That's it.
Because it's a roofing company. So explain to me kind of like what y'all do.
Sure. So I'm a project manager.
Okay.
You know, I make sure that the roofs are going on properly. I introduce myself to neighbors, and then, you know, I just ask them, you know, because obviously if there's a damaged roof in the neighborhood, there's a reason why. Well, there was a hailstorm or a windstorm, right?
Right.
If that house got hit, what do you think the neighbor's house got hit?
It got hit.
Right? It didn't just hit this one house unless someone just hates you. You know what I mean?
So you go and you like
I just
check
introduce
it out.
myself, right?
Yeah.
I introduce myself to the neighbors, and I'm just like, hey, I'm Jordan. I'm a project manager. You know, obviously there's going to be an install going on. There's some damage on this roof because there was a storm on May 24th, right? Have you noticed any damage on your roof? Yeah. Well, no, I haven't. Okay. Well, when's the last time you got inspected? When's the last time that anyone's ever come to your house? Oh, say you were in a house, my house, your mom's house.
Yeah.
And they were like, when's the last time you inspected your roof?
Never.
I've
never gone on my roof.
Who would ever think to be like, oh, hold on, let me see if my roof's damaged?
Cody
would.
He would probably check on it.
He probably would. Yeah, he would. Cody would, for sure.
Okay. But no, for real.
So that's exactly what I do. Well, when's the last time you even had your roof inspected? And 99% of the time it's, I don't know.
Yeah.
Right?
So you check out the roof. You go and inspect the roof.
I check out the metals. I check out their gutters. It's like a property inspection.
Yeah.
I want to make sure that their home where
because
they live.
whenever you sell your house or buy a house, the inspectors do all that. Because I remember when we were buying our first house, when I was with Shelby, that didn't work out. But anyways, and we were getting that house, and the inspectors would come, and they'd be like, this needs a new roof. We're not paying for it.
I almost didn't. I had to back out of the house that I bought in Aledo needed a new roof. And I had to back out because
they didn't want to
pay for it. Oof. That's how important a roof is. If you really think about it, it's the biggest thing on your house.
Oh, yeah, facts.
It's the roof.
Yeah, literally.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you go, you check it out, you inspect it, and if there's any damage, and you just like... So you're not selling them a roof?
No.
So how are you fixing their roof?
So this is exactly what happens. I mimic the insurance companies. So they do like a 10 by 10 square.
So everyone's got their roof insured, I'm sure, through
Right, they have to.
Insurance.
You have to have homeowners insurance, right?
Facts.
So I map out the square. If there's damage, I take pictures, I document everything, and then I basically just go over with them, hey, you have enough damage on your roof, shingles, you know, downspouts, everything, where you should get insurance involved.
And make an insurance claim.
Are you familiar with the claim process? No, I'm not.
Right.
Let me guide you down this path.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah, because I would, so then do you call their insurance or do they call their insurance?
They call them.
They call them and they're just like, hey, I had it.
Yep.
An inspector come out.
I had someone come out. They checked my roof. They're telling me that there's damage up there. Whether you believe me or not, the adjuster for the insurance company has to come out and inspect it himself.
Yeah, because the insurance don't want to pay for it anyways.
So I tell people all the time, I can't sell a damaged home.
Yeah.
I can't sell a damaged roof. You either have damage or you don't.
And the insurance is going to come check it out because they don't want to pay for it.
Exactly.
So they're going to have to make sure there's actual damage.
Right.
That makes sense.
Right.
So then who does the roof? Does Tom Drake do it?
So that's when we do the roof.
Okay, so y'all's roofing team then comes out.
So what'll happen is we make the claim. If the adjuster comes out and says, yes, there is enough damage where we will pay for the roof, all you have to do is pay your deductible. That's it.
You can't sneak the deductible in there?
No, that's a felony.
Okay. Whoa. Never mind. No sneaking the deductible.
No. If a roofer tells you, hey, you know what? It's free. Run.
They're sneaking the deductible.
Run.
call me, sneak my deductible.
No,
That's illegal?
Don't do that. Yes.
Okay, so you got to pay the deductible though.
Yes.
So technically, you aren't selling a roof.
I'm not selling
because
anything.
you're basically showing them you're looking out.
Right.
You're like, hey, here there's damage on your house. You should probably make a claim.
Yep.
And we can do the roof.
Exactly.
So you're basically just giving them a free glance over.
I give them a free inspection. I tell them what I see. What you decide to do with it is completely up to you.
Yeah. And I think what would make me feel good, it's like saying, like I said, it's like a mechanic coming back, hey, can I check out your car? I'm like, yeah. Well, he could lie to me, but it's like, no, but then this other like professional mechanic's really going to come look at it to make sure what I said was legit. Because like you said, in the insurance companies, they don't want to pay for the roof.
Right.
So they're going to come, and if it is damaged enough, you probably should get that fixed.
Well, not only that, I do have a lot of people, there's no leaks. I'm good. Well, the problem is if you see a leak, it's too late.
You're toast.
You're toast. What was that?
Well, I think that's the biggest thing too, right? Where it's like Adriana does this. So like my check engine light came on. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. What was there? So, it went away. We're good. I'm like, I don't know if we're good just because the light went away.
No,
I think there's an underlining issue
it doesn't,
here.
Your check engine light doesn't just say hi.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, hey, Adriana.
But you're
what I mean?
right. Yeah, I think a lot of people, like you said, if they don't see a true problem, like I don't know what's going on this roof up here. And if I'm renting, so it's not that big of a deal to me. But if it was my home, I'd want to get those things like yearly inspected because it's like
I want to make sure that one of the biggest things on my home where I live with my family.
What's the worst thing that happens when people have damaged roofs?
Oh man, we've seen mold in attics because what happens is it's not just like a flood's just gonna come off, right?
Yeah,
little drip,
and it creates
little
mold.
Drip. Well, I haven't seen a leak. I haven't done anything. Okay, well if you have a drip for 2 or 3 years,
oh gosh,
you know what I mean? A drip it's gonna get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. It doesn't automatically just go down, 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 down. It puddles up and it expands, right?
Yeah.
Okay, there's mold. There's all kind. You get mold in your attic and bro, you're toast.
Yeah, it's done.
Your house is toast.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, those people probably really regret it because they're like, should have got it checked out. Like, so you told me you go door knocking sometimes. That's got to be wild.
Yeah. So, for instance,
there's no way I could knock on somebody's door and them like, and that'd be so awkward.
So here's the thing that you got to think about. You're just helping people, right? If someone wants help, they'll allow you to check out their property, right? Again, I go back to when's the last time someone said, hey, have you checked your roof?
So when you knock on doors, let's say you knock on 100 doors, how many people say you can check out my roof?
It just depends, right? It really just depends.
Maybe what are the percentage of someone letting you get on the roof?
5%.
God! And you're just committed to keep going.
I want to help people.
Yeah, I guess it is hard when they don't know and like people just knock on your door and they're like, "Let me check out your roof."
People don't understand that. I go back to I don't have a leak. I don't have a problem or anything like that.
Yeah.
Right. They don't understand that if it's too late, it's too late.
Right.
They also don't understand there's a lot of different variables getting help with a roof, right?
Well, I'm sure a lot of people, I don't know anything about the roofing game, but I feel maybe a lot of people run into like just sketchy people that are like trying to take advantage of older people and they're trying to like get over on them. That's like why I've got like the same mechanics, right? Have you gone to the same mechanics because I can trust them?
Yeah.
Right. I think that's the biggest thing with anything in sales. It's like, especially when someone's trying to like get insurance involved, they feel like it's sketchy.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like,
when you hear the word claim, you get intimidated.
Right.
Right. And they think, oh man, this is going to be a pain. It takes like 8 minutes.
Right.
You know what I mean? And there is there's different companies that don't do the right things. And it doesn't matter what you do.
Like get the deductible taken care of.
Don't do that. Don't do that. But it doesn't matter where you go to, right? You work at Papa John's. You truly care about making the best pizza. There's another Papa John's down the street who doesn't care.
Right.
You know what I mean? It doesn't matter what you do, what profession you're in. There's people that don't care. They just want to do the job. And there's people that truly care and want to do it the right way.
Right.
That's why.
Well, it's like mechanics, right? There's some, like I trust my mechanics. They do a good job. And there's some that probably just fix it, bandage it, and move on.
I got into this because I wanted to truly help people.
Right.
And I want to be able to say, hey, I want to make sure that you and your family are safe.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't want to get that phone call from a family member or a friend or a neighbor that's, hey, I got a hole in my roof now. And the insurance is saying that because
if it's too late, will the insurance not cover it?
No.
They still will?
It's just, it gets tricky.
Yeah.
Like, it gets tricky. Like, well, you should have got the roof fixed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and there's another thing where you say you have a very old roof.
Right.
Sometimes there's granules, those kind of pebbles looking things on
Yeah.
the roof. They come off, right? Say a hailstorm comes and it hits that roof. You can't prove that there's hail damage. Insurance will not cover it unless they can prove that there's hail damage.
Oh.
So you get a roof that's 20 years old. Guess what? If it needs to be replaced, guess what's going to happen?
What?
You have to pay for the whole thing out of pocket.
How much is a roof?
I'd say on a
Like an average house, like a single family home,
$30,000.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's so much
Yep.
money.
It's a lot of money. And
Yeah.
people don't understand that. And that's why
How often? So do you think everyone should get their roof like checked out every year? Like
once a year at least.
Yeah.
Especially after a storm.
yeah, if a storm happens.
Texas weather is got to be one of the worst things for roofs.
Yeah, it's unpredictable.
You get snow, you get ice, you get 115-degree heat.
Yeah.
You get hail, golf ball, baseball, watermelon size.
How long
you know?
do roofs last?
So they say it's supposed to last like 30 to 50 years.
Not happening.
In Texas, let's go ahead and cut that in half.
Yeah, easily.
Because of the weather, right?
Yeah.
It's so Texas has a mind of its own when
Well,
it
the
comes
good
to
thing is too,
weathers.
if it's insured, then you just pay your deductibles. You know what I
Right.
mean? But again, like you said, if you wait too long, and I'm sure at some point, like the insurance won't cover it anymore.
So
Is
believe
it after like the 30 years or
So
what?
believe it or not, you know, the older that your roof is, the more that your premium for your insurance is. If you get a newer roof, your premium goes down.
What's like life insurance?
Well, you're less likely to make a claim on a
Yeah.
brand new roof,
Yeah,
right?
100%.
It's strong, it's young. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's literally probably how life insurance works. I don't have that. I don't know.
I don't know.
So, but I feel like, you know, if I'm like
Right.
older and 80 and now I want to get life insurance,
Yeah,
it's
it's
probably
like,
going to be higher.
well, you know, same thing. You have
Yeah.
a super old roof. Like I ran into a scenario where a gentleman lived in a absolutely stunning, huge home, and I was driving by. He happened to be outside, so I introduced myself, and he was like, "Dude, I've been battling with a certain insurance company for 3 years because his roof had been weathered so much
They don't want to cover it.
they can't prove that there's hail damage." But bro, it's
bad.
It's falling
What
apart.
insurance company?
I can't say
Why?
that. No, we gotta be
All right,
friendly.
we're not gonna do 'em
We
like
gotta be
that.
friendly here.
No,
we gotta
I'm
be
not
friendly
being
to
friendly.
everybody.
Don't. I'm not gonna say it. They'll probably red.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's crazy. Jake from Safe Farm. That's crazy. But I mean, I don't work for insurance. I don't know. But that's wild. But you've enjoyed this.
I love
Because
it.
how long you been doing it now? Like 3 months, 4 months, maybe longer.
A month.
A month? That's it?
Yeah.
I don't know why it feels like forever.
I started on November 29th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've been vibing even with the door knocking and stuff.
I love it.
Dang. You ever
love
meet crazy people when you door knock?
Yeah. People try to fight me.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
For what?
I guess because I knocked on their door.
They're just offended.
I guess. Like, who are you?
White bald dude, I'm
I
scared.
guess so. I don't know, man.
They're just like, get off my lawn.
I love it because, again, I don't have to sell anything. I offer.
Then why are they so angry? I think some people just don't like people knocking on their doors.
Sure, and I get that. You're private. You want to have your own privacy. Who is this random stranger coming to my house?
You think they'd be used to it with like Amazon and all these things these days?
Well, I mean, the way that the world is now, you get all kinds of crazy stuff.
Yeah, there's crazy people.
You know what I mean?
There is crazy people.
The way that my mindset with this whole thing is I enjoy helping people. I enjoy getting to know people.
Yeah.
I just like having fun. And I get joy when someone says like, man, I'm so glad you stopped by.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so I have a lot of stories where people are like, dude, I can't get anyone to help me. I'm helping a gentleman in Weatherford. His name's Mr. Trail.
Mm-hmm.
He literally, I mean, he like wasn't in tears, but like he was emotional
Yeah.
because he was like, dude, I can't get anyone to help me. And I know I have a problem. I said, let me get up there for you. So I went up there. Dude, it was in bad shape
How can he not get anybody to look at his roof?
because people don't care.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're just like, it's too much work. You know what I mean?
Was he way out there?
He was way out. He's way in the middle of nowhere.
Really?
Well, I mean, he was not. I shouldn't say in the middle of nowhere. He was in Weatherford,
Yeah.
but like way in Weatherford.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
well, I guess some of these bigger roofing companies around here.
Right.
Who's like the biggest roofing company around? Is there like a big commercial one? Like,
Tom Drake.
nah, okay, yeah. No, I get your shout out. But no, like, I didn't know if there was like, you know
I
how
don't
there's
know.
like Benjamin Franklin Plumbing?
I don't
Is there
know.
like a big commercial? Like, is there one?
Maybe.
Or is there just so many in the game?
There's just so many. You know what I
Really?
mean? And I would say that most of them don't have the mindset and the heart that everyone at Tom Drake does.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I mean, I think you know me well enough to know that I don't, if I go somewhere, it's because of the people.
Right.
You know, like-minded individuals who really care about their community. That
Right.
really care about people that have good hearts that want to take care of people.
Well, yeah, we're all at the Salina game and like doing stuff like that.
We sponsor the Salina high school football team. So we
Right.
went to the state championship game.
Yeah.
He's involved with Dak Prescott, Tony Pollard. He does a lot of camps. He
That's
sponsors football teams.
We're just in the community and invested.
He really cares. He
Yeah.
really cares. And that's one thing that he preaches so much, him and Micah, or the clients, the customers, they're family.
Yeah.
When we put that roof on, we're protecting them.
100%.
You know what I mean? And I take that with great pride.
Yeah.
And so when I do, and then, you know, you're saying like, oh, you go knock on these doors, like, why? I want to help people.
Right.
I really do want to help people.
Yeah, that's fair.
I want to be able to drive around, like, again, not trying to get all weird or anything.
Yeah.
But I do love, I want to be able to take JJ and Jonah and be like, I'm helping that family. I'm protecting that family.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? Just
Yeah, because there's so many ways to make a buck, right? There's so many ways to make a living.
Sure.
But when you're doing something where you really can,
Right.
like, help people,
Yeah.
I think that's the difference. And I think that, you know, it's hard. The world's jaded. And I think a lot of people look at anybody in sales or
Yep.
anything that we do as in, like, they just want to get a check. They just
Sure.
want the money. But it's
yeah.
like,
I just want to make a quick
like you
buck.
said, your roof's either damaged or it's not, and an inspector's going to come double check this work,
Right.
And they're going to be way harder than I am because they're not going
Right.
to want to pay for it.
Exactly.
So if they say no, then no. I didn't charge you to check your roof.
Exactly.
It's free.
You keep on moving on.
Yeah. So it's like they should feel comfort in knowing
Right.
like someone's going to come and try to really make sure it doesn't get covered.
Exactly.
So if there is damage, you're lucky I came.
Exactly.
Because even if it doesn't get covered and I tell you there is damage, it's not like you're charging them to inspect.
Correct.
It. That's kind of fire.
Well, not only that, I've been on roofs before and they're perfectly fine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We went to
And-
John's roof, and his roof was like,
Yep,
great.
it was perfect.
Yeah.
And so I went up there and I let him know, hey, dude, your roof's in amazing shape. But it's just having the peace of mind being like, okay, that part's good. And then not only that, if they do have an issue, they can call me.
Yeah, and you can help them out.
And I've told several people that I've gotten on roofs and, you know, they've been just fine, right?
Right.
And I tell them like, hey, that's fine. I'm not going out of my way to look for damage.
Yeah.
If it's there, it's there.
Yeah, it's either there or it's not.
You know what I
can't make
mean?
it up.
And that's the great thing about what I do
That's
is I can
pretty
truly
dope.
help people.
That's pretty dope.
I love it.
You see yourself doing this for a while?
forever.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I mean,
Yeah.
like I said, I want to get to a point where when JJ and Jonah are older, they can ride around and say, I'm protecting that family and that family and that family and that family. And people are calling me
They don't even got to pay the deductible.
nothing.
No, I'm just joking. No, you're paying the deductible.
Nothing.
Nothing. That's crazy.
I just
No, that
think
is
it's a
awesome,
blessing.
though.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
no,
a
it's awesome
blessing.
to be able to like you said, help people.
Right.
And I think it just anytime someone hears free or it sounds like it's not real.
Yeah.
But in reality, it's like no, like us. We're going to we go to gyms. We're going to Odessa this weekend to go
Yeah.
help with the gym. Like they're like, how much do you want us to pay? I'm like, nothing. We just want to come help.
Exactly.
But
I'm sure
and people are always confused by it.
Yeah.
We did that thing where we try to go help gyms and fundraise, and they're like, wait, so like you don't want to get paid at all? I'm like, no, we just want to come help, and no one believes that. They're like
Right.
confused.
90% of people, maybe
They're
that's-
just jaded. They get burned. You know,
maybe
over time.
maybe that's a high number. Maybe I'm saying it wrong. There is a lot of people in this world who don't have the correct mindset. They don't have the correct heart,
Yeah.
and they try and do things, and it's not the right thing.
Yeah, and that messes up the people
That are trying to do the right thing.
and then that messes up the customers. They get trust issues,
Right.
Like they get to a point where they're like, "Yeah, the last guy told me it was going to be free and it's going to be easy, and then next thing you know, I'm paying all this money and he's charging me for this."
Yep.
And yeah, that's tough.
And
I mean, it's hard. It's why whether it's doctors or mechanics or anybody in sales, like they get a bad rap because
Yeah.
it's kind of like, you know, it's like a mechanic. I don't know anything about cars,
Right.
So I just got to trust them.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Luckily, I found some really good ones. Shout out Mike and Mo, that I can trust.
Yeah.
And I just, whatever they tell me it costs, because I believe them, and I believe them over the years.
And I kind of like what you're saying, right? I'm working with a gentleman right now. His name's Mr. Pope, and he had some guy come like 20 years ago, knock on his door and say, "Hey, man, there's this new high-tech roof, and it's going to take care of you. It's a rubber roof,
Oh, man.
and because it's a rubber roof, you can't prove that there's hail damage, dude. He has a massive leak in his house.
Ugh.
And this guy that put on this magical rubber roof 20 years ago, no one knows who he is, where he works for, and he has all these problems, and now he can't get any help.
And he's just got to buy a whole new roof now. How much is that?
40,000, I think.
Gosh.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing.
That's crazy.
We have some people on our team that is trying to like kind of dig into this scenario for him.
Yeah.
And see if we can help him in a different kind of way where he doesn't have to pay that much money.
Yeah.
Because that's just...
That sucks because someone sold him, like you said, some new high-tech roof, but
And it was a piece of
insurance aren't going to cover that.
No.
Like, insurance isn't going to cover that.
Nope.
Oh, dude, that's tough.
Nope.
And it's hard because, like me, I don't know anything about roofs,
I didn't either.
right? So if you tell me, like, you know, this new rubber roof that's never going to damage,
Yeah.
you're like, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I would have done the same thing. I would
That's
have been like,
crazy.
yeah, sure, sign me up.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And not knowing insurance will never cover this.
Never.
Dang.
I know.
That's wild.
I know.
That's pretty fire, though.
I mean, I love it, man. I really do. I love working with Tom and Micah, and I work with a bunch of like really, really good
Just solid dudes.
people.
That's what's important, being surrounded by good people.
Yeah, and they all care, and they all want to do the right thing. And you know that's one of the things that I just love is that I'm surrounded by people with good hearts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, that's important, man.
Yeah.
Because you want to be around those people because it's it's infectious. Like it vibes
Right.
with everybody. Last question though.
Sure.
When are you gonna start watching the Cowboys again? Like for real. So Jordan's a big Cowboy fan, but he stopped watching them. Why'd you stop watching them in the first place?
Okay.
Bad decisions.
Well, okay. So I love the Cowboys. Jerry, if for some reason you see this, I love the Cowboys. I've cried many times, and I don't know if you remember. I think it was 2016. The Cowboys were playing the Packers at home.
Yeah.
And we were getting destroyed. And I went to the bathroom, and the Cowboys scored. I stayed in the bathroom for the rest of the game because I wanted to make sure the Cowboys won. But getting to the answer to your question, I am tired of it being a popularity contest.
Yeah.
And I just want them to win.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I think Dak Prescott, if you're watching this, if you ever watch this, I think you're an amazing individual, and I think you're a very good quarterback. I think you just have to have certain players around you to get to the Super Bowl or win the Super Bowl.
He's a trailer, not a tractor.
According to
be pulled.
Colin Cowherd, yeah. And you know, Mike McCarthy, if you're watching this, or if you ever do watch, I think you're a good head coach. I just think you have to have a certain kind of player, Aaron Rodgers type quarterback, to get you to the Super Bowl. So when you have a quarterback and a head coach that are very good, not great, in my opinion, you can't surround them with mediocre talent. Well, when you pay Dak Prescott, which he's earned and deserves, and good for you, Dak, you
$60 million.
You can't surround him with elite talent that he needs to get you to a Super Bowl.
So it's just bad decisions.
Just over and over and over and over. And I just
It's all
think
about the ratings.
I think it's just turned into a popularity contest, and it's not about how can I win a Super Bowl. I think at the end of the year, in my opinion, Jerry, I think at the end of the year when they have the end of the year meetings and they say, okay, guys, you know, our record was whatever. I don't even know what the record was this year.
I don't know.
7 and
They
9
didn't
or
make the playoffs. I know that.
shocker. I think at the end of the year when they say, hey, how do we improve our team? I think Jerry says, well, how much money do we make? And they say, well, we're number one. We're good.
As long as the business is winning.
That's-
But do you feel like it's going to decline if they keep missing the playoffs and stuff?
No,
I think if they did for like 4 years in a row, didn't make the playoffs.
never.
You don't think so?
Jerry's that good.
At business.
Jerry's the greatest owner of any professional team in the history of ever.
As far as making money.
Owner, period.
Really?
He's the worst GM I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
He's the greatest owner ever. The greatest owner of all time is Jerry Jones. He took the Cowboys and made them into a mega bajillionaire team.
Yeah.
That everyone... The Dallas Cowboys star is the third most recognized logo in the world.
That's wild.
That's Jerry. That's Jerry Jones at his best. The problem is he runs
What's
it
number
like
one?
Coca-Cola,
Number two?
McDonald's.
Athletics. I'm joking. But dang, McDonald's and then the Star.
And then the Star.
That's wild.
Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
Worldwide.
That's wild.
Well, that's Jerry because he's that brilliant.
Yeah.
But the problem is he runs the Cowboys like a business.
Yeah.
He doesn't care to win.
They're winning in business, not in the games.
Correct. And
you
so-
would think he would as he gets older, like wants to see another Super Bowl.
He doesn't. No, he doesn't.
You think his son's the same way?
Worse. Oh no. So here's the thing about his son,
What's his
Steven.
name? Steven.
In my opinion, he saw his dad spend all this money and not win. So he's like, well, I cannot spend money and not win.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
No, it does. I just feel like eventually, but I think Jerry's smart enough. Like he gets the popular people that makes you think you're gonna win.
Right.
So like that's what gets the ratings. I think if they like had Brandon Whedon as the quarterback and stuff, like they wouldn't get the ratings.
They're always going to get the ratings.
You think so?
They're America's team.
There's got to be a decline at some point. There has to be a point where it's like I mean, look at the Patriots. They were
Right.
so hot for a long time. Where some people were calling them America's team when Tom was there.
Right.
And then it's like now they're irrelevant because they've lost for so long.
But Jerry's done so good for so many years of making the star and America's team. Do I think real Cowboys fans like myself will eventually kind of be like, dude, I'm tired of this?
Yeah.
Yeah. The only way, in my opinion, that the Cowboys can truly and Jerry truly changes, if there was like a season where somehow, some way, no one went to the games or barely any, like half empty stadiums, then I think he'd be like, I'm losing money.
Yeah, it's got to affect the bottom
You know what
line.
I mean?
Yeah, it's
And
got to affect the pocketbook.
the problem is he's so brilliant at what he does as far as running the business. I don't think it'll ever happen. And it sucks because I love the Cowboys. I know I love the Cowboys.
Yeah, that sucks, man.
It sucks. And like, this whole year I haven't watched a single game, and it's not because I'm trying to get back at Jerry or hit Jerry's pockets. I don't want to invest myself in something that I care so much for that the owner doesn't care for.
Yeah, no, it's hard to watch it when you're like, they're not going to win. They don't care. What's the point?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, I've just been watching good football.
Yeah.
I just want to watch a good game. Like I love watching, like this year, I love watching the Lions.
Yeah.
I love what
Solid.
Dan Campbell's doing as far as like, man, that dude just loves football.
Man, I hope the Cowboys bounce back. I mean, that'd be
I would
great.
love for them. And I told everyone, I hope this year they would have won the Super Bowl and been like, look at this, Jordan.
Yeah.
I wish more than anything that would have happened.
That ain't happening.
Well, look what happened.
Ask Caleb. That ain't happening.
Yeah. I said if they keep Dak and they keep McCarthy, I'm not gonna watch.
I heard they getting rid of McCarthy though. So they say.
I don't know. I've heard other things saying that they might keep him because of how hard they've been fighting without Dak.
Nah, there's no way, bro. There's no way. All right, boys, that's a wrap.
Come see me.